Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're having a good time at the conference. I'm here to talk to you about decarbonizing existing gas turbines with some of our cutting-edge hydrogen retrofits, and that means combustion solutions. So first of all, I want to explain to you what is a gas turbine. It's really a high-efficiency energy storage device, and there's a picture of it up here. You have a compressor, you have a combustor, which is then burning the fuel, and you have a turbine, which is an expander. And with that, it's a mechanism for producing heat and also for producing electricity. And what we can do is, by providing a retrofit to the gas turbine for the combustion system, we can make it hydrogen capable. And that means you have a storage device, effectively, which is gigawatt capable by using a synthetic fuel. If you look at the overall cycle efficiency of this, it's 80 to 90% efficient because you're able to utilize both the electricity and the heat from the cycle. So it's extremely efficient. And of course, when you look at Europe today, for example, half the energy need is actually in the form of heat. So it's not just producing electricity, it's also able to produce heat. There's really an advantage with the gas turbine. It's very flexible. There's a lot of them in operation today, so you see them used a lot for grid balancing, for load balancing. They're already the cleanest of the fossil fuels, so utilized with LNG, but now we can start to also operate them on hydrogen. And the idea is that we can harvest the renewable energy that's out there. So as you see more and more of the wind and solar going in, and there's hydrogen production, that's what we want. And we want to be able to fill the gaps when the sun's going down, the wind's not blowing. You'll be able to operate these gas turbines with this retrofit. It means that you can take and use your existing power plant. Just with a relatively minor upgrade, they're completely carbon-free. And having the flexibility to go from 0 to 100% hydrogen means that there's also some flexibility in the way you market your equipment as well. So that gives the operator the advantage of going towards a clean fuel source at an approach that makes sense. And there's a chart there which just shows you the fluctuating prices that we often see in Europe at the moment, where even the price of electricity is going negative. That's the times when we want to be absorbing energy. And when the peak is up and it's very positive, that means there's a high demand. That's when we'll be wanting to run these kind of gas turbines. So really, we look at the existing gas turbine power plant as a super battery in that sense. Now, at Thomassen Energy, we are doing the field service, we do the repair, we provide upgrade components, and we're looking typically at machines anywhere in the range from 20 to 200 megawatts. The flame sheet technology is the basis for our retrofit. So this is a novel patented technology. We already have it running in 17 machines with 7 years of experience. It gives you more operational flexibility to turn down to low load, but it also is designed for fuel flexibility as well. And that's where the hydrogen comes in. We already have this operating commercially available to 60% hydrogen. And we're pushing further on that now to go all the way to 100% hydrogen. The pictures that you see here of a typical installation, this is for a 180 megawatt machine, where we are converting it to a flame sheet upgrade, and it gives the possibility to then operate that machine, which just used to run on a carbon-based fuel, the flexibility to run on carbon and hydrogen-based fuel. This is a test facility. It's in DLR in Germany. And you'll see the movie there. I just started playing it. It starts out with 100% natural gas, and it's slowly moving towards 100% hydrogen. This facility is important for us. It allows us to take our new technology and test it at real engine operating conditions. So the hardware that we'll plug in there, and you see it hanging from the sling, that's something that will go into a 20 megawatt machine. That's the actual hardware that will go in the machine. And in this test facility, we can simulate the full operating conditions. And the challenge is really getting up to 100% hydrogen. Hydrogen is highly reactive. It burns about 5 times faster than natural gas. and also it can result in elevated emissions. So the trick is to design the injection and the stabilization technology for hydrogen and natural gas at the same time so that you have this operational flexibility. And that typical blue flame that you see there disappearing, that's normal what you see with burning natural gas. And as you go towards 100% hydrogen, it completely disappears. Hydrogen flames are invisible. So really all you see here now is the glow of the metal, right? The flame itself is actually invisible. This was a world first for us to be able to demonstrate that we could operate hydrogen in this way, in this sort of a retrofit. It's pretty recent. It was just completed in January of 2023. And this particular piece of hardware applies to about 3,000 installed gas turbines out there in the 20 to 40 megawatts class range. So as we look forward here for decarbonizing power generation, we look at the whole value chain. It's not just the hydrogen gas turbine, you see that there on the right-hand side of the picture, but it's also about what we need to bring to the site potentially to enable it, because the source of hydrogen is important. We see the hydrogen backbone coming into the Netherlands and other parts of Europe and the world, but in some instances we have to bring this infrastructure as well. And if you want to have a green hydrogen, for example, that means an electrolyzer, a blue hydrogen potentially with reformation. But then we compress that fuel, we store it, we buffer store it, and then we'll release it into the gas turbine. Now, right now, of course, the buffer storage is dependent on the amount of time that you actually would want to cycle a gas turbine to get that peak. So it very much depends on the marketplace that you're in. You can use underground storage as well. That'd be much larger scale size. For example, if you look in the north of the Netherlands, you have facilities there that can hold up to 6,000 tons of hydrogen. That's effectively a 130 gigawatt hour battery when you link it to a gas turbine such as this. So what we offer is both the upgrade, but then the whole value chain solution. And that's where we have the strength of being part of Hanwha, which is a large conglomerate which does everything from solar panels to these kind of high hydrogen retrofits. Another opportunity for us is to decarbonize industrial facilities. So wherever you look in the world, if you see chemical processes or refineries, you see flaring. Typically, that flared gas is highly reactive fuel, and of course, that's just wasted energy going into the atmosphere. With this high hydrogen technology, we're also able to harness that as a fuel into the gas turbine. So instead of burning additional carbon fuel, you'll capture it in the gas turbine. So that's kind of a spin-off that we see from this hydrogen technology, is this ability to burn these highly reactive fuels in this way. And that means something for areas of the world where maybe there isn't really a hydrogen economy yet. It can be anywhere where there's a refinery, anywhere where you see a flare, you can do something about your carbon footprint in this way. This is real. So this slide just shows you what we've been doing in recent years. We have, in America, we recently retrofitted a 7F machine, a 180 megawatt machine, with a capability to run up to 40% hydrogen. That's at the JERA facility, the Linden Cogen refinery. And that's been operational now for about 2 months. Also at Dow in the US, we did a retrofit in 2018, only about 5% hydrogen, because that's what's available for this large machine. In the Netherlands, right here in Rotterdam, we're planning to do an installation after the summer at Uniper. That'll allow operation up to 30% hydrogen. So you've heard a lot about what's going on in the Rotterdam area. We'll be able to take advantage of some of the hydrogen that's being produced in this area to decarbonize, partially decarbonize the 9E facility there. Right below it, you see another 9E that's located in Thomassen, which is about 1 hour from here. There we've been running 3 9E machines, so these are 120 megawatt machines with up to 25% hydrogen since 2018. So this is not something that we're just starting in the last year or two. It's already been out there for a while. If we look to the future a little bit, the end of the year, we have a commitment to install our first Frame 5 machine. So that video that I showed you, that's of the Frame 5. We'll be installing that in November and December 2023. That'll be in Korea. And then recently in Korea, actually last month, we demonstrated for the first time on a 7E, which is an 80 megawatt machine, that we can go above 50% hydrogen with low NOx. So this is sub 9 ppm NOx, above 50% hydrogen. So these are projects that are very near term. And as you look at the pipeline going into 24 and 25, these are all starting to come in preparation for the energy transition for what's needed here in Europe as well in 2030. So just to wrap it up, there's an advantage of the gas turbine. They're already installed. They're grid connected. Everything's in place. They're in the right locations. They're easily dispatchable. They're reliable. It's very cost effective to do the simple upgrade into an existing power plant. You don't have to build a new power plant. They're also very rapid in grid balancing. So you can go up and down in load. 20 megawatts a minute is not a problem. You can do rapid load ramping. And this allows you to firm the grid. Of course, it's also a clean energy storage device. If you link it to a synthetic storage facility or even the pipeline, we can use this to balance the grid. And the fuel flexibility gives the operator the flexibility to go into the energy transition at the pace that they decide, depending on how much hydrogen they have. You're always hearing about the chicken and the egg, will the hydrogen come? Here you don't need to worry about it, because the hydrogen is there, the natural gas is there, and let the market drive the solution. Let the incentives drive the solution. And then, of course, just having that spinning reserve for frequency control, for keeping the grid stable, that's an important element as well. And that's what a gas turbine is typically used for. And of course, this takes partnerships. So we have a number of partnerships here in the Netherlands, expanded into Europe. We work in the Middle East, in Asia, where we bring this technology to the existing power plants. So it's really about high hydrogen combustion retrofits for carbon-free power generation and energy storage, and also heat. That's an important element. Just one last plug. We're going to be back in Rotterdam on June 14th and 15th. We're having an asset manager conference where we're going to do a display of all this technology. We also have a stand here. It's stand 53, which is just about 20 meters behind you, around the corner there, where you can see the combustion technology that I'm talking about actually in metal. So anyway, you're welcome to do that. And one other thing that's very important is the people. Of course, we need lots of young talent. It's a challenge in these times to find the right talent to be able to work on this. So we're also encouraging people to come and join us as part of our team. And that's it. Thank you very much. Time for a question, or I'm done? Any questions? Or otherwise, please come and see us at booth 53, like I say, just behind us. Thank you.